very excited to get the 2017 season underway. We've been at practice now 2 weeks, starting our third week, and the team is high-spirited. They've been competing very hard in practice, which we expect out of them. And I know they're hungry to get the season underway, but they understand that we got to continue to work hard and practice every day. We got to continue to build the chemistry as a team and to be able to put ourselves in the best position for game day. We have a lot of work ahead of us.
Shawn, after 2016, where we had a program record 16 wins, get to the quarterfinals, what do you do for an encore?
Win a national championship, right? That's the focus. For us, it's being able to be our best every game. And if that puts us in position to win a CAA championship, to win an NCAA tournament game, or all the way to the NCAA tournament, that's our focus, is being able to put our best into every day, preparing us, for those game days, and preparing us, for a long season, hopefully. For us, we got to continue to stay focused and hungry, which this team is, which has been exciting to see. And there's going to obviously be some new people in some roles for us out there.
Coach, you lost some talented players on defense, including your goalie. How was it a big challenge just replacing those guys, or guys ready to step right in?
I wouldn't say it's a big challenge. We have some talented players in the program. We recruit for that. We recruit competitive young men that have high character and are driven. So, we're just seeing who those guys are going to be to kind of rise up and then fill those voids. We have talent on the defensive end. Those guys are inexperienced because, we had a lot of guys playing in front of them the past couple of years. But now it's their time to step up and prove to who they are, continue to build themselves, as a chemistry on the defensive end, chemistry unit, and then be able to, carry on the tradition.
You guys also have a lot of guys in the mix of face-off backs. How have things panned out so far?
It's been fun. One, just having more bodies there, and all those guys have been beating up on each other pretty good. Having a couple transfers plus Jack McAllen as a freshman coming in, it's 3 new bodies. In the past we only had really 2 with Pat Conroy as our long stick. When we really needed to. So having 5 guys at the X has been awesome for practice. They're competing well against each other. Each one has their own little niche that kind of helps them be successful. But I expect us to be much stronger at the X this year.
Shawn, bringing in, like you said, 3 new guys at face-off, is the whole point to sort of fortify that position? Did you feel like that was an area of need for you guys?
Absolutely. Anybody that's seen us over the past 5 years knows that face-off has been a little bit of a deficiency for us, especially last season in the NCAA tournament. I think we won maybe 9 face-offs total in the first round and the quarterfinal game. That's not going to help us move on. And, we needed to understand how to fill that void, understand how to get better there. We knew we had a very talented one in Jack coming in, and then a couple transfers, I think they saw what we did in the NCAA tournament and said, hey, I can go to Towson and probably help them out, which, isn't a bad thing. But, we're, I think, very fortunate to have, 5 guys that I think we can, go to bat with and be successful.
Staying with defensive side, the goalie situation, how's it shaping up? Is there a leader in the clubhouse?
Great competition. Coming out of the fall, I'd say Matt Hoy, our senior right now, had the lead throughout the first 2 weeks in preseason. It's really roll the dice and see kind of what's happening. Each guy has had good days and bad days. I think we'll find out kind of a little bit more where we're at by the end of the week after we get through a couple scrimmages here and see them do their stuff against another team in our 2 scrimmages. But nobody's really solidified that as of yet.
I'm going to assume you're not expecting one of them to get next to Tyler White, but how much pressure?
Be nice.
how much pressure is there on whoever fills that role to play, as well where Mono is well?
We don't communicate that to them. We don't communicate that to anybody in any position. We just want to maximize who they are. We want to be able to make their strengths as strong as possible, continue to work on their weaknesses and make those, strengths if we can. And, those guys are different. Tyler was unique. He's, 6'3", 250 pounds. None of those guys have that frame, but those guys know how to stop the ball, and they do it in their own, way, and we're just going to continue to coach them up, make them better as individual goalies, but also understand their role in the team defensively and what they need to do to help us out.
Jack Adams, how's he gotten better? He had a huge year last year. Has he gotten better? Have you seen him improve?
He
This
has.
year?
He has, and I think it's been more on a leadership side of things. He's continuing to play at a very high level, out on the field when we're in reps. His stick work has gotten better. That was something in the first couple of years with Jack that, he was not very good at, but now he's more confident getting the ball off the ground, handling it in transition, doing very well there. But really his voice has become more of what Jack is as a senior, and that's how he's really matured and been more impactful within our program.
Past seasons, you guys have had to play in the NCAA playing game, turn around against a very good opponent. Is there a certain mental toughness that comes along with, going through everything that experience entails?
I'd like to think so, and I like to hope that we prepare our guys for that in practice. We do a lot of situational practice segments, with what we do and trying to build that toughness, build that mentality in regards to regardless of the situation, regardless of, the weather, regardless of the opponent, regardless of if you're number 1 in the country or you're, number 65 in the country. You're out there to compete. You're out there to play your best and, to get it done as a team. And that's something that I think our guys have embraced. My staff is phenomenal. I think they're the best staff in the country in regards to, educating, teaching, and motivating our guys. But I think a lot of that, mental toughness to be able to get through that adversity, comes from, our guys believing in each other and being able to play for each other.
Shawn, because of the losses on defense, are you going to lean on the offense to sort of carry the load maybe for the first couple of games until the defense finds its footing?
No. We're going to expect our defense to step up and play at a high level right away. If we got to play a lot of defense early on, we're going to see what we're made of, and if we can do that and sustain success, as a defensive unit, we communicate to those guys. If we got to play defense for, 3/4 of the game or, 50 of 60 minutes, that's your role. That's your job. You're out there, you're playing defense every rep, you're looking to make that stop. So it's not that we're really leaning on the offense to, put up 14 goals a game because we think we're going to give up more goals. When we have opportunities offensively, we expect to score. So our expectations don't change. Even though we're inexperienced, might we make mistakes, that we haven't made, last year because we were a little bit more experienced? Possibly, but we hope to correct those quickly and be able to be better from those.
That said, Coach, you put together a really tough schedule off season. That's going to battle test you guys for the CAA. You think you get a couple good games here at home too, which is big.
We want to play as strong a schedule as possible, and we're excited about the schedule. We know it's going to be challenging, but that's Division I lacrosse, and if we don't do that, we're not making ourselves better. We're not finding out what we're about. So it's not our out of conference schedule isn't just built to prepare us for the CAA. It's built to make us better, every game. And then obviously at the, kind of back half is the CAA conference game. So, you got to hope that you're ready to roll at that point. But the CAA obviously is extremely strong. So that's preparing us, every week too, hopefully making postseason there and then pushing us to the NCAA tournament. But you got to come ready to play every game.
Shawn, last year is obviously last year, but is there anything about last year that you want the players to remember, or do you want them just to entirely forget about it and sort of put that in the past?
I think the tightness of last year's group is something I want them to continue to understand how important that was for us as a team. We were a pretty tight-knit group as a team in a program last year. Obviously, every year you're trying to create that chemistry and trying to get as tight-knit as you can. But understanding maybe what went into that, having our seniors and captains and veterans, communicating with them is just like, what were you guys doing on your own time? They were going out bowling or they're going out hanging out, having a team meal every now and then, things like that. What really solidified that, because that for me, I think, can take care of a lot of adversity and a lot of issues that you might run into either on the field or off the field, the tighter you are. And obviously, I want them to remember what everything we did to go into the success that we had in regards to the preparation, the work ethic, holding each other accountable, with putting in time outside of practice to make ourselves better, whether it be watching film or, hitting the books and getting our academics taken care of. or, you know, making ourselves better, you know, by getting some extra shots in and wall ball and things like that. You know, understanding the investment that needs to be made, you know, to continue to move forward is important to us.
So who are you going to lean on then to sort of do that stuff, you know, for a team internally when you're not there?
Well, it's the captains. You know, the captains have that responsibility and that role. We're fortunate this year we have a big senior class, and all those guys have been very instrumental, you know, over the past 4 years during their career here at Towson. And, you know, they've been a part of that culture. They've been a part of that process, and they've seen the dividends. You know, they've put in the time, you know, outside of practice, and that's paid off for them. So have them continuing to communicate, continuing to emphasize, continuing to draw the younger guys and the transfers into that, you know, mentality and that work ethic, you know, is something that we expect. And it's been fun to see that happen throughout the fall.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Coach.
guys.